So hey anime fans, the series name is What If Naruto Got Harem with All Queens, so let's start the series. Sasuke was gone, Sasuke was gone. Uzumaki Naruto sat by himself on the bridge where Team 7 used to meet, staring blankly at his hands. He had let Sakura and the Hokage down, but more significantly, he had let Sasuke down. No matter how foolish and antisocial he was, Sasuke was his best buddy, therefore he had given it his all in an attempt to bring the bastard back, but it had fallen short. Why didn't the bastard win? Hadn't Konoha taught the snake bastard? He could become more powerful there than he would have under Orochimaru's leadership. Tsunade, too. And Itachi himself, now that he considered it. Furthermore, Itachi was stronger than the snake bastard. Given that his mentor was weaker than the person he wanted dead, how could Sasuke possibly expect to defeat his brother? The scoundrel has friends here, damn it. Those who, if necessary, will gladly follow him all the way to hell. After blinking, Naruto repeated the thought, follow him straight into hell. Perhaps he was approaching this incorrectly, the concept would require careful preparation and Sakura's backing. However, it was feasible. Naruto first returned to his small apartment, got paper and a pencil, and sat at his desk. He knew that Sakura would reject his proposal as simply another foolish notion if he didn't have at least a basic plan and a list of supplies. After giving it some thought, he picked up the pencil and started writing. 4 hours later, mentally spent, he put down the pencil and looked out the window, staring in amazement at the sun that now hung low and fat in the sky. It was almost time for dinner. The time has disappeared. With a sigh, Naruto gave a gratifying pop and stretched his back. And got up. He thought it was time for some ramen. Before leaving, he looked at his desk and grinned. Yes, he concluded, he would review the specifics and make the required preparations tonight. And he would speak with Sakura tomorrow. At precisely midnight that night, Naruto got out of bed, tossed aside his covers, and got dressed in garments of murky grays and browns rather of his typical orange or black. He grinned as he considered the attire. The answer to hiding at night was to remove the human shape and learn stillness. Most ninja believed that black didn't appear at night, but they were mistaken. Standing in the shadow in black at night made you appear as a man-shaped black speck against a washed-out palette of dull gray to the trained eye. By gathering old rags from the garbage and washing them with a single piece of freshly purchased black cloth, he was able to remove the telltale shape. Regardless of the color of the rags at the beginning of a wash, they were so similar that they blended in with everything. It had been more difficult to learn to be still. He had observed people, animals, and birds. The only living thing that resembled true stillness to him was a snake that was silently waiting for prey in the grass. Even that snake was noticeable, not because it moved a lot, but because it still had a sense of life. He had finally discovered his source of calm, a stick bug. Despite training his eyes to detect objects that were trying to hide, he had never spotted one before. In fact, he only discovered the motivational tiny bug because one had fallen from a tree right onto his lap. In order to test the still trick, Naruto moved, and didn't move, in a rather different way. He entered the busiest restaurant in Konoha, right in the middle of the crowd, and willed himself not to be seen. In fact, he was seen, but no one ever noticed him, not even in his bright orange jacket. Rather, they strolled around him as if he were a potted plant, naturally splitting the masses on one side so they could swiftly rejoin on the other. He had even managed to fool the ANBU into seeing straight through him by using the motionless trick and the no-color clothing, which allowed him to move freely throughout Konoha, particularly at night. It came in handy when a miner wanted to shop in Konoha's underground black market. Tonight, he was purchasing the most valuable item a ninja could own. Details: after a discussion and the disclosure of the strategy, things begin to move forward. With the comfort of extensive practice, Naruto moved softly and assuredly from shadow to shadow, navigating the intricate turns of Konoha streets. The blonde smirked to himself as he thought about what his friend would think of Uzumaki Naruto, the loudest ninja in the world, moving through the streets undetected, so silent and out of sight that the elite of Konoha just slid past him. Naruto had passed no fewer than 4 patrols on his way through the deserted streets. They would undoubtedly be shocked, but they would be much more shocked to learn that he was actually making the final payment for some crucial, and hence costly, information rather than staging a practical joke. There were 3 levels to Konoha: the top, where the average, law-abiding people lived; the underbelly, which housed smugglers, small-time thieves, hired thugs, and other such unpleasant types; and the actual underground, which was where information was bought and sold, where truly dangerous and illegal goods could be found, the places the Hokage never had and would never know about. This is where the information he had paid for, and was still paying for, came from. The areas where you were willing to kill at the drop of a hat, where it was assumed that the name you used was not real, where money was frequently exchanged for favors like blood, death, and the like, even if you were arrested. It would be completely legal and above ground because the individual from whom he had bought the information was okay with his collecting money. Well, not quite, but still, and the information had been well worth the money. Patrol schedules for the entire Konoha, who would be on each patrol for the next 8 months, the location of the secret entrances into and out of the village, how to activate them, and where to find the best cover. With this, he would be out of reach well before anyone figured out what he was doing. Additionally, he was aware of the cover he would employ. All he needed to do was summon the bravery to approach her. Sakura believed Naruto was a fool. He had been surreptitiously glancing at her for the entire week, which was normal except for 2 things. First, his eyes were a peculiar mixture of calculating and unsure rather than adoring, and second, he was truly being subtle. She threatened to corner the foolish blonde and force him to speak if he didn't express his thoughts quickly. In fact, she made the snap decision, "I'll do it right now." As a result of the Rookie Nine's decision to meet for lunch in the middle of Training Ground 31, which was typically deserted, lunches had changed from being a somewhat awkward silence between the 2 surviving members of Team 7 to being a boisterous event that included insults directed at everyone, yelling at each other, and the use of soba as a new and lethal weapon, don't ask. To everyone's surprise, Ino, Kiba, and herself were the ones who did the majority of the yelling, not Naruto. Although many, including Sakura, were astonished by Naruto's recent quieter and more reflective demeanor, she was more shocked by the fact that Naruto was revealing his true self to those around him than by the fact that he did have a quiet side. "He's still looking at me, too." Under her breath, Sakura snarled, "Enough is enough." Given how hectic things were at the moment, nobody would notice her dragging the blonde off for a brief conversation. As Ino struck Kiba in the face and a brawl broke out, Sakura moved closer to Naruto, who was gazing into space. Then, while the fighting couple was the center of attention, she hit B B B B B B B B B B D D D D D D D D D D D D D D. A hand over Naruto's mouth and a vice-like grip on his arm startled him out of his reverie. To his astonishment, he let Sakura pull him past the tree line around the training ground and deep into the forest. She paused to form a half-seal with her free hand, and he felt a surge of chakra pass through him. Then she abruptly released him, spun him around, and glared. "Explain," Naruto grimaced. She had clearly seen something strange. Damn, well, he hadn't intended to do this, but it was as good a moment as any to confess. He inhaled deeply. "Okay, just listen, hear me out completely, then you have full permission to rant. Are we safe?" Sakura scowled at him and replied, "Yes, I've set up the usual ward, no sound will escape, right? Good, it's like this, you and I both know that we would follow Sasuke anywhere he needed us to be, right?" "Yes, Naruto, I know, but he left us behind," Sakura scowled one more. "Well, yeah, we know we'll do anything for the stupid bastard, but he doesn't. So, I got to thinking that, well, maybe we're going about this whole thing wrong. The bastard's never going to give up on killing Itachi, and he thinks going to sound will help him get strong enough. Maybe we should support that, support him. Even if he is a stuck-up asshole." "What do you mean, support him? How can we do anything for him from Konoha other than try to bring him back?" Sakura asked, ignoring the taunts directed at her friend and crush. "We can't do anything from Konoha, so we go where we can help him. To sound, we follow our idiot wherever he needs us," Naruto said, lifting his head and looking her in the eye. Sakura gasped, gazing at her buddy with disbelief. But, what about the others? And what about the Hokage?" "The way I see it, the other rookies will get it. I mean, they'll be angry at first, but Shinkameru will figure things out pretty quick, and he'll tell them. As for Bachan, well, I suppose we just hope for the best." He sheepishly laughed and then suddenly soured up. "Sakura, I want you with me in this, but I'll do it either was. The bastard needs people around him who will ground him or he'll lose himself." Sakura remained silent for a long, tense moment, reflecting. Her father had returned to his duties as a ninja 3 years ago, and her mother was always busy now as a hospital nurse. She hardly ever saw either of them, and it was uncommon to see all three of them at the dinner table. It would take them a few weeks to realize she was gone, but to leave her friends, her community. "Okay, show me what you've planned, I'll go," she said, breaking the silence at last. With a smile, Naruto released a breath he was unaware he had been holding. "All right, we'll start by having a very public fight, and one of us will storm off," he said. A fight breaks out, the plan is initiated, the pervert is shocked. Naruto inhaled deeply. The Rookie 9 were once more eating lunch at Training Ground 31, and it was time to start the action. Knowing that at least 2 of their friends were observing, he got up from his seat on the far side of the clearing and walked casually over to sit next to Sakura. They talked for a few minutes in low, important-sounding tones. In reality, they were discussing the weather and trying not to laugh. This was going to be fun. Sakura moved a little to the left, and Naruto took his place in line. Suddenly, he stood up, straightened his back, and let his face turn completely white. His metal lunchbox clattered to the ground, drawing further attention from the other rookies. "You." Naruto willed his voice to tremble a little. "How could you say," he said fiercely, modulating the agony and hurt in his voice and features. "You have no right to say that to me. You weren't there. You didn't see it. How dare you? How dare you?" You aren't the only one who has seen, you idiot. I have every right. Sakura said, rising to her feet, her face changing to mirror his, which had been an artistic fusion of surprise and guilt when he began. They were shouting at full volume, nose to nose now, and the other rookies watched, wide-eyed, as they went at it. They had never seen either of them this angry before, and definitely not at each other. You have no right at all. Even if you had seen what I did, it's clear you have no idea what it means. Sakura suspended her speech and covered her lips with her hands, saying, how the hell would you know? You're just a Naruto. You bitch, Naruto said in a low, harsh voice, staring at her with angry red eyes and a white face. You absolute bitch, he said. Naruto, I swear I didn't mean . I'm going to leave now, Haruno, you are not going to follow me, or talk to me, or come anywhere near me, you've made yourself clear, he said, his voice rising almost wildly before he closed his eyes and clearly controlled himself. You meant every word, and you know it, I thought you were different. The group watched in quiet as he wrenched away from her, turning his back on them. His shoulders were stooped, and his head was down. He appeared very little. There was a lengthy period of stillness after Naruto had disappeared. Sakura took a deep breath, realizing that her actions at this point would make or break the plan. She then did the only thing that would be certain to stop anyone from asking about the fight, she started crying. The rest of the rookies acted after Sakura let out loud, heaving sobs that rocked her body and caused her to bury her head in her hands. Tenten and Ino sat down on opposite sides of her and massaged her back in calming circles while Hinata brought her some water and the boys stood in awkward silence. Sakura didn't glance at any of the others, instead, she stared blankly at the ground as she allowed the sobs to gradually fade into pathetic sniffs and lifted her head out of her hands to expose red-rimmed eyes and a face smeared with tears. Sakura, what the hell was that about? I've never seen Nabaka so angry, exclaimed Ino when he could take it no more. Sakura sat down, shook her head, and muttered, I'd better go home, with a dejected expression on her face. I said something I really shouldn't have, I just wasn't thinking, I guess, I know he hates talking about . Does anyone else find this whole thing more than a little confusing? Ino frowned as he turned to face the other people after the rookies watched her leave. One of the rookies turned to Shinkameru and said, it doesn't make sense. Obviously, Sakura knows Naruto's secret. Did you notice that she interrupted herself? But what could Sakura say to make Naruto so angry at her? Kiba nodded in agreement as Ino said, well, let's find out what this oh so important secret is then. It's not like Naruto has ever been able to stand up to direct questioning, it'll be easy. As everyone focused on him, Neji grimaced. Do not believe that is a wise idea, Shinkameru said sharply, you know what he's hiding, and he kept a tight eye on the white-eyed ninja. I have a suspicion, and if what I suspect is true, then it is a secret that I believe Naruto, among others, would literally kill to keep. Neji steadily looked into the genius's eyes. Do you remember the chakra he manifested during the Chunin exams? It can't be. He's the . Shinkameru said, his eyes narrowing and then widening in comprehension. Shinkameru sat back thoughtfully for a while before nodding, saying, I watched him for quite some time after I realized, he is still Naruto, it could not emulate human patterns so easily, he is the contained, and this is not our secret to tell. He looked at their perplexed audience and said, okay, we won't interfere. None of us will, understood? Kiba appeared to be about to object, but Hinata abruptly stopped him, shocking the entire group. You understood, Shinkameru-san, Niji-san, no snooping, 0000 odd. Naruto and Sakura met in a remote clearing to begin the second phase of their plan while the other ninjas their age conversed. Damn, Sakura. That was awesome. He smiled and sat on the soft loam. Why, thank you Naruto, not too shabby yourself. The red eyes were a nice touch, since both Niji and Shinkameru suspect, it certainly was convincing, he said. Thanks. Right, back to business, here's what we do next, since our little fight has made us avoid each other like the plague, no one should think to go to you for at least a week after they realize I'm gone, and by that time you'll be gone too, she agreed, and Naruto stood up and continued, we'll both throw ourselves into training, apparently broken up over the fight, and disappear erratically, sometimes for hours and sometimes for days, our schedules can overlap slightly, but not too much or the Hokage will get suspicious. Make sure you let the others find you training sometimes, and dash, she smiled at him and he smiled back before they both vanished into the jungle. Okay, stop, we've gone over the plan before, Naruto, let's get to it, she said. 0000 odd need. Naruto was by himself beside a lake near the Konoha forest. When he heard that Ero Sennin had offered to take him out of the village to train, he almost blew everything. After the fight, with his teammate, he had gone to Tsunade-bachan's office with an angry but tearful face and asked to be removed from the mission register for a few months so he could train. Naruto was only sarcastic when he was really upset and unsteady, so his remark, right, 'cause being alone with only the pervert will really keep me safe, fit right into his persona and caused the Hokage to rethink their plan. Fortunately, his quick thinking had blown that out of the water and actually improved their ploy. The plan was going well, he and Sakura would both spend varied amounts of time training in the forest, occasionally allowing others to see them. They did use that time to practice since, after all, if they were weak, Sasuke wouldn't be able to use them. And Naruto was now beginning his training. Jiraiya had enlisted the majority of the other rookies to go locate him, so it was the ideal way to get caught. He had deliberately chosen a fairly wide area and an exercise that required a lot of churka. He created the workout, which was a kind of water walking, to help him focus, balance, control, and strengthen his arms. After water walking to the middle of the lake, he concentrated as much chakra as he could into the tip of one finger, let a small amount of it spill out and formed it into a point, and then placed the point on the water. He then performed a one-fingered handstand and started to bend and straighten his arm. In order to stand on top of the water while performing one-fingered push-ups with his entire body held vertically, Naruto had to constantly and intently expel churka through his finger. This was very challenging, and he would fall under the water if he lost concentration for even a moment. He became conscious of his audience during his 63rd push-up on his second arm. He divided his attention between the exercise and observing the rookies and Sannin standing on the shore. Their looks, which included slack jaws, bulging eyes, and obvious amazement, almost caused him to lose control. He staggered a little as he slowly lowered himself into a standing position on the water after finishing his 100th push-up, his entire body trembling under the strain. He realized how exhausted he was. His body hurt more than it had after the battle with Sasuke, every limb was shaking, he was drenched in sweat, and he was nearly out of chakra. "Hi, guys, what you doing?" he asked, his smile only a shade of his typical grin as he crossed the lake to where his buddies, the Hokage, and Jiraiya were standing. It was a tremendous relief to finally set foot on solid land. The words, "Naruto, where the hell did you learn that?" had Tsunade slam her jaw shut. "Didn't learn it anywhere, my own invention, I do it every day, really hard, but I'm already stronger and I have way better control, just, really tired, going home," he said, blinking at her as his weary mind took a minute to process the question. Every day. His own invention. Geez, Tsunade. The kid's crazy strong already. He doesn't need me to train him. If we leave him to his own devices, he'll be stronger than me in a matter of months. Jiraiya's voice rose incredulously as he shuffled away. Naruto grinned to himself and stumbled home. 5 weeks had passed since Naruto first allowed the others to catch him training, and 2 months had passed since the failed mission. He was careful to allow them to see him at least once a week, but just to be safe, he had spaced out the times between each incident so they appeared genuinely random. It had been 2 days since the rookies and company caught him, but 7 days had passed between that time and the previous one. He would allow them to see him again today, and he was going to make it spectacular. He was aware that Sakura had started allowing them to observe her modifying or practicing pre-existing techniques. Today, he planned to follow her lead and begin developing his concept for a modified Rasengan. In addition to his already insane stamina, his chakra reserves had doubled and his control had improved by nearly 7 times as a result of his daily practice of the water exercise he had created. This meant that he no longer needed a bushin or even 2 hands to make the Rasengan, and since last week, he had been able to make and hold one in each hand for nearly an hour. In order to ensure that the rookies weren't doing anything foolish, Jiraiya and the Hokage had started accompanying them when they went in search of Naruto or Sakura. They usually showed up at noon, so he had about an hour and a half before they arrived to watch him train. They knew better than to interfere. Both Naruto and Sakura had blown up pretty spectacularly when anyone tried. Therefore, he could work with an hour and a half to figure it out. Sakura was poring over a book in the Konoha library. Next to her was a rather tall stack of books that she thought were useless and a much smaller stack of things that she thought were helpful. Since the other rookies were used to seeing this, they paid little attention to the books when they came to ask her to lunch. They might have spotted the low-level genjutsu put on those volumes if they had looked more closely. They would have also discovered a good number of books about the laws of Konoha today. They may have discovered a hint to Sakura and Naruto's schemes if they had listened more intently. Sakura was pleased of this fact for the remainder of the day after accepting the lunch offer without giving the books a concerned glance. The Rookie 9, excluding Naruto and of course Sasuke, were engaged in a heated debate on whether the shuriken or kwani was a better weapon for long-range battle while seated in a tiny taiyaki area next to the Hokage's tower. Within 10 minutes of placing their order, Jiraiya, Tsunade, and the group senseis joined them. A second table was brought over, and everyone engaged in a lively meal that was interspersed with loud laughter and arm gestures. Asuma, who was unaware of Sakura and Naruto's current situation, then asked a question, "Hey, where's the blonde Gaki?" There was an awkward stillness, and Sakura swiftly stepped into her character, standing up and opening her mouth to answer. A chakra wave interrupted her, turning everyone's heads toward Konoha Forest. After a brief period of quiet, the party marched out, with Tsunade instructing the store owner to place the lunch on her tab. As they made their way to the forest, everyone had the same thought: now what has he thought of? That had been amazing, Naruto thought as he laid on his back, panting. His experiments had gone pretty well, and he could feel the others approaching him quickly. Until he lost focus, which was primarily caused by a bug getting into his eye, everything had gone almost perfectly. He smiled, and the others were almost at the edge of the clearing. It was time to put on a show. Once more and I'll have it, he said as he stumbled upright, and his audience responded instantly. The usual onlookers dragged the Jonin senseis into the cover of a big boulder and turned to stare expectantly at his form. He inhaled deeply, and as he released it, focused, a Rasengan appeared in his palm facing up. Naruto heard his sensei mumble, disappointed, "That's it," from behind the boulder. The others shunned him and kept observing. After holding the technique for a brief moment, it started to shrink, much to the confusion of his audience. It appeared as though he was releasing the technique, but they soon realized that the ball of swirling air was actually being compressed rather than disappearing. Hardly a second after the shrinking began, the Rasengan, which was the size of a pinhead and a tiny spot of intense light in Naruto's hand, appeared next to it. And another, after 30 seconds, dozens of pinhead Rasengans encircled Naruto. He then raised the hand he used to create the first one and gestured toward a massive oak tree on the lake's far side. The small balls of light flew over the open water at a remarkable speed, and the oak disappeared. The party approached, with Naruto and Sakura as far away as possible. Naruto inspected the tree's remnants, pointedly ignoring Sakura. There were only a few exposed roots and no wood fragments or ash heaps remaining. "Holy shit, brat, how do you think these things up?" Multiple projectile Rasengan, each smaller than a coin. "What's next, a jutsu for creating food from air?" Jiraiya asked, slowly turning to face the blonde. He narrowed his eyes at Naruto's unexpected smirk. "You're planning something, what are you up to?" he asked. When Naruto smiled at the white-haired ninja, the gang couldn't help but smile back because it was so naughty, cunning, and characteristically Naruto. "Now that would be telling," they said. As Naruto gazed out his apartment window, he noticed that the sky had that odd purple-black hue that only occurs when it is so early in the morning that it is still late at night. The few minutes that fall between really late and before dawn do odd things to a person's mind. Things are sharper and more focused, but they are also less familiar. At this point, things started to alter. Leaping from the window ledge to the roof of the next apartment building over, Naruto quickly changed into his non-colored clothing, strapped on his weapons, and hurried across the rooftops at an incredible pace, making his way through the city and into the forest entirely unnoticed. Naruto settled on a tree's bough at the edge of the lake and clearing where he had trained. He pried a large piece of bark off the trunk next to him, exposing a tiny cavity that held his newly made field pack. Over the previous few weeks, he had smuggled everything he would need for the journey to get to this location. He slid the pack straps over his arms and placed it comfortably on his back. He made sure he had everything and then looked around the clearing, finding the one small piece of cloth he had forgotten and then gathering some leaves. He made sure he had left no trace of himself there. He moved slowly away from Konoha, but as dawn colored the horizon, he picked up speed because he was a mile away. His play acting with Sakura had worked. No one would have thought to ask her where he was because they were so obviously at odds, and as soon as people started asking, she would also vanish. His friends had seen him today and were now accustomed to his unpredictable comings and goings, just as he and Sakura had intended. They would not expect to see him again for at least 5 days. Hopefully, he would get in sound before anyone noticed his absence. The moon shone in odd, flickering patches that slid across the forest floor. Naruto was hidden by the dense tree canopy as he darted from branch to branch, his presence barely audible beyond the rustle of leaves. When he moved, the shadows changed, and when he stopped, he was completely absent. 3 days ago, he had been a Konoha ninja, but thanks to Sakura's cunning and some research into Konoha laws, he was now completely separate. Once they discovered this, they were unable to even send Anbu after him because, following much discussion, he and Sakura had secretly emancipated themselves using an antiquated law about clanless ninja. Naruto knew he was being overly cautious, but it was better suspicious than dead. Naruto then gave Iruka some very intriguing documents to give to her before she vanished as well, just to make sure the Hokage would be completely bound. In the thin manila folder he had given her at their most recent meeting, there were documents stating his resignation from Konoha's ninja forces, a copy of his emancipation, and a written letter renouncing his position as a Konoha citizen. To Sakura's dismay, Naruto had written a message to Gaara outlining everything, but his friend would not divulge anything. It was now strictly forbidden for Tsunade to send anybody after him unless a mission was sent from outside the village. Fortunately, Gaara was the only one who cared enough to do so. Naruto halted as he landed high in the branches of another tree. Crouching on a sturdy bough, he surveyed his surroundings and decided that this would enough. Without taking off any of his gear, the blonde curled up on the branch's biggest section, supported his back against the trunk, and fell asleep. When ninjas stopped for the night, they usually put up a camp. Naruto thought this was foolish because you could rest much more quickly in a secret spot and just eat an energy bar in the morning instead of setting up a tent that you'll only have to spend more time pulling down. Simply put, hunting, cooking, and cleaning up took time away from a mission, and occasionally ninjas couldn't afford that. Thus, Naruto slept till morning while comfortably perched on his high branch. Underscore 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 with the light streaming through the window, Sakura groaned as she surveyed her small apartment. She had transferred her belongings from her parents' house to this tiny apartment a week ago, but she wasn't sure if they had noticed yet. Did it make a difference? They hardly ever saw one another, so when they did, it was unlikely that they would give it much thought. She scowled, a little anxious. Had Naruto already left? In order to give her a greater chance of seeming appropriately shocked, they had decided that Naruto would not tell her when he departed. Oh well, it's time to add to their little ruse. Sakura took off her pajamas and put on her most comfortable slacks and a somewhat rumpled blouse that didn't hang quite properly. She didn't touch her regular makeup and brushed most of the knots out of her hair. She then gave her eyes a hard rub till she saw that they were red-rimmed when she looked in the mirror. She lowered her head a little, slumped her shoulders, and shuffled out the door. After 10 minutes, she rushed to meet the other rookies while sporting her biggest smile. Underscore 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 Sakura, who was laughing at Lee's most recent attempt to capture her heart, was unaware that Ino was frowning and glancing at the nearby rookies. Shinkameru, who had quick eyes and a quick mind, had noticed first that Sakura's smile was painfully fake, her normally impeccable appearance was a little rumpled, and her entire posture screamed unhappy. He leaned over and whispered into Ino's ear, and from her to the others, the observations slowly made their way around. The rookies were concerned because something was happening. Ino casually questioned the other girl, "Hey, forehead girl. Have you seen Naruto?" to test her theory that there was only one person who could cause her to experience this state. "Ah, yes, earlier this morning, he's probably off training by now, though," Sakura said, her fragile smile wilting at the edges. "I should probably get training myself, see you guys later." Sakura shouted over her shoulder as she abruptly left the group, clearly observing their silent communication. Ino's eyes narrowed a little, and she looked around to see that everyone else had reached the same conclusions as her. Another fight. She moved quickly in the direction of the trees and was soon out of sight. Underscore 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 light flashed across Naruto's face as he briefly enjoyed the sun. He sighed reluctantly and got up to check the straps on his equipment. Taking an energy bar to eat while traveling, the kid squatted, jumped, and started to move again. And, boy, are those soundnins in for a surprise. Naruto smiled, estimating that he would reach the gates of sound by late afternoon based on his current trajectory and speed. Sakura had at least 2 more days before people began to wonder where he was. When they tried to inform her that he had vanished, she would first act shocked before becoming cynical. She would tell the Hokage that she had anticipated this but hadn't anticipated it so quickly, that she had a fight with him again, and that Naruto had hinted that he wanted to leave. Naruto groaned. That was the only thing he felt really bad about, abandoning his beloved sensei. After she had dispelled any suspicions about herself, she would then leave his documents with Iruka along with her own. On top of the Hokage statue, Naruto had concealed a note that explained everything and the reasons for their leaving beneath a stone. When they eventually found it, hopefully it would be sufficient. Underscore 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 underscore. He knew that his brothers, the majority of the Suna Council, and the panting messenger who had delivered the message were all looking at him with curiosity as Sabuka no Gara leaned against the wall and read Naruto's letter for the 3rd time. His lips slowly expanded into a smile, and his eyes wrinkled at the corners as the smile turned into a grin. Then, to the surprise of everyone in the room, he started to snicker softly. Even though the people had gradually learned to appreciate and trust the more emotional Gaara when she returned from the Chunin examinations, Temari's voice was hesitant and a little scared. Brother?" she asked. The gang was taken aback by the amusement in the insomniac's voice as he said, "Naruto. He's pulled the biggest prank that Konoha will ever see." As the older council looked at each other, wondering what precisely would make this prank amusing to even Gaara, Temari grabbed for the letter, which her brother happily gave her while still grinning. Temari read it while Kankuro looked over her shoulder. "Sandman, hello. Curious about a secret? Sakura, the pink-haired one, and I have decided that since Sasuke bastard is obviously incapable of taking care of himself, we should follow him to Sound and make sure he doesn't do anything foolish." "Well, you'd better, because I'm telling you anyway. You know, Sasuke bastard has gone and pulled a fast one, waltzing off with the stupid snake. I mean, what's up with him? If he wants immortality so much, why is he wasting time with a stuck-up idiot? He will, anyhow, so we're following him to make sure he doesn't do something foolish without our laughter and pointing. I swear, he lives alone in that district he owns since it's the only place with enough room for his pride, so it keeps his already enormous ego from getting inflated. Since you're the only person outside of Konoha who knows anything about me, I thought I'd explain everything, well, mostly, before they roped you in. Sakura has set things up so that Obachan can't send people after us unless someone outside of Konoha can give them a mission. I'll make sure the snake knows that you, Temari, and the face-painted marvel are off limits, so you don't have to worry about us being on opposing sides or anything. Don't ask how, you really don't want to know. Sakura is slapping me and urging me to hurry up, so I'm going to end this here, K. Oh. And I developed some truly amazing methods. We'll spar and brag to everyone if you ever come see me. You know, it's good to heal rapidly, and I'm actually pleased I have the grumpy old furball in me now. Anyway, goodbye. Your companion, who is also a fierce Jinchuriki, Naruto, he calls his demon a grumpy old furball. No wonder you two get along. You're both crazy. Temari spluttered. Grumpy old furball. Gaara grinned at her. He cracked a joke while the entire room stared at him. Says the girl who purposely makes it look like she grows pineapples in her hair, he said. He even cracked a joke. Was the sole idea running through most of their minds. Kankuro recovered the quickest. Well, this will certainly make Konoha's war with Sound interesting. What shall one bet the blonde brat ends up either driving all of Sound insane or making friends with everyone? 300 on him stopping the war before it even gets started, Gaara said, glancing at the letter and then at the council's bewildered expressions. Underscore 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 underscore. Uzumaki Naruto had reached the town of Sound, which was miles from Suna and Konoha. The gates were strong and thick, the walls were guarded by at least 8 Jonins, and it was obvious that no amount of cunning would let him enter the town undetected. Thus, he adopted Plan B. Clearly visible, Naruto stepped into the center of the road, put his hands over his lips, and yelled at the ninja. Yo! Let me in. I need to see Orochimaru. With his fists on his hips, Naruto returned the Jonin's gaze as they pondered, On the one hand, the little blonde had come in entirely unnoticed, had gotten past every trap in the forest, and was doing nothing to conceal the extent of his power, and boy, did he have a lot, it was nearly rolling off him. On the other hand, the little ninja might really use that power if they let him in. At last, Naruto became frustrated. Ugh. Fine. One of you people go tell either Orochimaru or Kabuto that Uzumaki Naruto says that they signed themselves up for a 3-for-1 deal, and number 2 just arrived. And I'm not gonna try to take number 1 because he's a stubborn, stupid bastard and it'd never work anyways. Got that? Good. Now go find him. Naruto then sat down in the center of the road and waited, huffing in frustration. Underscore 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 underscore. After being convinced to deliver the blonde's message, the Jonin rushed to Orochimaru's office. After pausing for a while to gather his breath, he knocked extremely softly. Kabuto's voice said, "Come in," which was good because it indicated that the snake summoner was feeling good. "Orochimaru-sama, there is a small blonde ninja at the gates. He told us to tell you that Uzumaki Naruto says that you signed yourselves up for a 3-for-1 deal, and number 2 just arrived. And that he's not going to try to take number 1 because he's a stubborn, stupid bastard and it'd never work anyway," he said, taking a deep breath before entering the room, bowing, and delivering his message. The Jonin then glanced at the two. "Well, Orochimaru-sama, you have to admit he's got guts, and he is rather powerful," Kabuto said, laughing after facing two astonished faces. His expression widened. And he'd keep Sasuke-kun in line. Well, we'll see, won't we? This may be to our advantage. I wonder how he got away from Konoha without the Hunternines dragging him back. We'll find out soon, no doubt. Send him in, but make sure he has absolutely no contact with Uchida Sasuke. This will be an intriguing discussion, I believe. After bowing, the Jonin departed the chamber. Underscore 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 Naruto had convinced one of the very puzzled Jonin to come down from the wall back at the gate. At the moment, the two were playing XS and OS for the third time. Naruto had started a conversation with each ninja in turn in the 10 minutes since the other Jonin had gone to deliver the news to their Kage. They were all perplexed because, typically, when a ninja showed up at the gates of sound, they were either afraid or posed to impress the guards. Rather of performing what was expected, Naruto immediately began inquiring about their village in general. The ninja discovered that the little blonde was more than happy to respond to any inquiries they had. They were now aware of Naruto's origins, his escape route, his status as an orphan, and the fact that ramen was his favorite cuisine. "So, how did it happen? How did your parents die?" was the last question the ninja who was playing XS and OS with him asked, and Naruto was reluctant to respond. Hesitantly, Naruto pondered whether or not to tell them about the seal. Why not? It's not like I gained anything in Konoha by keeping it a secret, Naruto reflected. He inhaled deeply. I don't know who my parents were, but they died when the Kyubi attacked. All the villagers except for old man Ikiaru hate me too much to tell me anything anyways. See, the Kyubi couldn't be killed, so they sealed it into a newborn baby, me, just my luck, too. The furball is always so grouchy, it can't get out, of course. But it wasn't too happy about me forcing it to give me chakra as rent. As the ninjas gazed at him, one said, "Rent? Well, yeah, it lives in my mind, so it's damn well gonna pay for the space." The upside to having the fuzzy homicidal maniac is the chakra and the fact that I can heal from pretty much anything overnight. Ah, I had it better than Gaara. He's the vessel for Shikuka. His seal was unstable, so his demon was whispering in the back of his mind, telling him to kill everyone, and between that and the fact he couldn't sleep without the demon taking over, he was pretty much as crazy as you can get. The seal's been repaired now, so he's actually pretty cool. We're friends. You gonna run screaming or try to kill me now? "'Cause that would suck," Naruto said, finally raising his head to face the Jonins. "No," said one Jonin. "No, I think you'll find that sound Nin are more open-minded about that kind of thing. Most of us were missing Nins." Naruto's expression brightened as the others nodded in accord, and he smiled, saying, "Cool. Hey, brat, Orochimaru-sama and Kabuto-san are waiting to see you," said the Jonin who had gone to speak with Orochimaru. Naruto entered the town of Sound as the gate creaked open. Naruto looked around at his honor guard, which consisted of 4 of the Jonins from the gate. The 5 of them were walking methodically through the village's streets, heading straight for a big circular building in the middle. The building was constructed with security in mind. The central building way was encircled by 8 feet of grass, devoid of any shrubs, trees, or flowers. The first floor of the building was slightly elevated, allowing all the windows to have a good view of the bare strip while still being high enough for an awkward jump. The training grounds were located in a wide circle around the building, followed by the administrative buildings, which included the Ninja Academy, the supply stockpiles, all the various offices, and several ninja outposts. Outside of that, there were shops and stores, as well as the residences of regular civilians and workers. Every wall was constantly patrolled. He was impressed, not that Naruto would ever acknowledge it, by the outcome, which was a well-organized village with strong defenses. As they approached the final wall and one of the 2 entrances to the circular building, Naruto stopped trying to take it all in at once and turned to face one of the Jonins. He noticed that this one had tiny green clips on the edge of each sleeve and was hardly identifiable as female beneath the loose uniform. "Hey, Green-chan. Is Orochimaru's office or throne room or whatever underground? 'Cause there's no way all the clerks and people could all fit into only one floor," the Jonin on Naruto's left responded. "No, it's on the main floor in the very middle. Most of the clerks and people, as you put it, are in different buildings. Only the people who are directly under Orochimaru-sama are in this building," while chuckling softly at his partner's moniker. "Neat. Think Orochimaru did it that way so he could watch those really whiny clerks huff and puff all the way here, Ghost?" Naruto retorted, observing the Jonin's white hair and distinctly masculine frame. "Ghost? Why Ghost?" spluttered the Jonin. Naruto pointed to the Jonin directly in front of him and said, "Well, Green-chan because she's a she and had green bits on her uniform, Ghost because I can see some of your hair and it's white, he is edgy because he twitches every time I say one of your nicknames, and the person behind me is just a Bushin so I won't bother naming him," then smiled at them. As the Jonins gazed at him, the newly christened Ghost understood deep down that shock would be the norm now that the blonde had arrived. None of them gave any thought to the chance that Naruto would be turned away. Naruto had turned into a force of nature that could only be resisted by someone stronger than their commander. Underscore 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 underscore. Orochimaru waited thoughtfully at the door, wondering if he should let Naruto-kun stay. Did they stand to gain anything by rejecting him? What impact would the blonde have on sound? The snake summoner turned to face his second-in-command and said, Orochimaru-sama, stop brooding. You know as well as I do that a choice cannot be made until he says his piece. You're just making yourself tense. The other man grinned, but dropped his head slightly. You sound as though you're already supporting his staying, Kabuto, he said. Let me just say that life will be much more interesting with him around. You've had limited contact, Orochimaru-sama, but once you talk to him, you'll understand. He's different, interesting. Well, we'll see, won't we? He groaned as he heard the soft knock on his door. Come in, he said louder to the gathering in the corridor. Naruto unlocked the door and raced joyfully inside the room before the Jonins could hold him back. The blonde flopped down in the chair across from Orochimaru's desk and smiled at them, saying, Your Jonin are really nice. Although I wish Ghost would stop snickering at me. Green-chan and Edgy are nice, so I'd best get explaining. Hey. What do you want to know? Yo. Thanks for at least hearing me out, Orochimaru. Hi, Kabuto. Haven't seen you for a while. Had the boy breathed once during that entire monologue? Orochimaru blinked. Green-chan. Did his words register then? Edgy. A ghost? 3 of his strongest Jonins were being given absurd nicknames by the child, and they didn't mind. He shook his head, saying that he would sort that out later because he had a riddle to solve right now. He took a step forward. I think, Naruto-kun, it would be best if you simply started at the beginning and explained everything, otherwise, I expect we would be here until dawn tomorrow. He looked at the Jonins. Are you comfortable with telling your tale with these 3 in the room? Simply shrugged. Why not? They already know about the fuzzball, and I'm pretty sure I can trust them. Besides, it's not like anything I'm going to tell you is particularly sensitive. The Soundins all gathered to listen while the Jonins set up posts around the room. Naruto told them everything. How he and Sakura were loyal to Sasuke, how he came up with his plan, how he bought information from the underground, how he decided to fight Sakura to dispel suspicions and give her time to flee when he vanished, how he obtained the documents that allowed them to leave the village legally so they wouldn't be known as missing memes, how he slipped past Konoha's patrols and out a secret door into the forest, gathered his supplies, and eventually reached the gates of their village. Orochimaru almost choked on his own tongue when Naruto told him about playing XS and OS with Green-chan. The blonde observed Orochimaru's face as he pondered what Naruto had done, the fact that he and Sakura had severed all connections with their town in order to follow a friend, and when he finally ran out of words to say, he sat back. Very well, I believe that answers all my questions but one, Orochimaru said, tying his fingers together, after the guy nodded. What can you offer to Sound, Naruto-kun? And what do you want in return? Orochimaru asked. Naruto gave him a genuine smile. What can I offer you? Other than the fact I am a powerful ninja. Well, first, I can train your ninjas in the best stealth techniques that I've ever seen. the ones that let me get within a foot of the first wall completely undetected, and even then, they only saw me when I wanted them to. I can offer you a way to fix the Konoha mess. I can guarantee you open trading with Suna, if not completely tax-free. Oh, and with me you get a really good medicine and genjutsu specialist, free of charge. The blonde flawlessly mimicked Orochimaru's stance, but destroyed it with an impish smile that said, "Interested?" "I apologize, Orochimaru-sama, but I told you so. Things are going to be interesting around here from now on," Kabuto said slowly as the Soundnins watched. "All right, Naruto-kun, point made, welcome to Sound," said Green-chan, now known as Himoto, with a snicker. "All right, Naruto-kun, point made, although you can take the Jonin test whenever you feel ready, we will speak of trade with Suna and your solution the Konoha mess, as you put it, tomorrow. I'll have a forehead protector and a uniform for you by then. Himoto will show you around, and you will sleep at her apartment tonight," added Orochimaru. "Take him shopping for clothing, as well, no orange, or any other eye-watering shades either, Naruto-kun. The clothes you are wearing now are good for missions, but you will have to spend some time in the village." Naruto glanced at his black clothing and smiled once more. "We'll find you an apartment near Sasuke-kun soon. Now go. Get something to eat, it's past 8 p.m. The other Jonins watched in amusement as Naruto sprung to his feet, talking about ramen and new flavors. His new watcher trudged resignedly after him. Kabuto stretched and waved to the two Jonins before they departed. He turned to Orochimaru and said, "Interesting, isn't he?" Tomorrow will be exciting. When Orochimaru suddenly saw what life in the village would be like with Naruto, he sighed. To say that it was exciting would be an understatement. Underscore 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 underscore. Sakura was doing a fantastic job of maintaining her act back in Konoha. Her expression and voice suddenly changed from one of surprise to resignation, saying, "I guess I should have expected this, but I thought he'd wait at least a year. He's gone. As in, left the village permanently. But... and why should his disappearance have been expected, Sakura?" Niji said, while Tsunade and Shikamaru both scowled. Jiraiya and all of the rookies and their senseis were assembled in the Hokage's office. The white-haired pervert had visited Naruto's apartment to force the boy to go with him to the hot springs, but upon finding it empty of all necessities and sentimental items, he placed his Konoha headband, Tsunade's necklace, and a note that simply said, "I apologize, but I have more pressing matters to attend to than a dream." The former Rokudan-to-be, Naruto Sakura exhaled. "A few days ago, I encountered Naruto just after breakfast. Well, neither of us were in the mood to apologize, to say the least. He let slip that he was going to leave the village. I thought he meant months or years from now, not days. I guess I didn't really think. I was kind of distracted for the rest of the day." Sakura gave Ino a bitter glance and said, "Hey. I remember. You were all crumpled and sloppy looking. Trust you to notice my appearance and not my mood, Ino pig." "Hey." Asuma let out a sigh of frustration. "Quiet, you too, Sakura. Did anything you said have particular impact?" According to Jiraiya-sama, it had been abandoned for days. He must have left immediately. When Sakura said, Yes, probably, he got me really angry," her face turned somewhat pale and her shoulders slumped. Her voice was filled with shame, and Asuma winced as he realized how inconsiderate he had been to the girl. "I'm going to train in the forest for a few days. I need to think. I'll be back within 4 days, okay?" Sakura said, standing up suddenly and turning to face Tsunade. Tsunade looked at her for a while before grudgingly nodding. "Just don't overdo it, Sakura. No new jutsus without supervision. You can't heal like Naruto can." It took an hour and a half until her observers eventually left, and she waited an additional hour after that, just in case, but 10 minutes later, Sakura went to the lake where Naruto had practiced so frequently and sat near the water, just peering over its surface. She then got up, retrieved her travel pack from a hole in a tree's roots, and proceeded in a manner similar to that Naruto had taken days earlier. She reasoned that Naruto wasn't the only person with a secret strength, so she should wait. "I promise to do everything for my team, and I will." 6 days would pass before the Konoha rookies realized she had not lost time and had vanished. A day later, they would discover all the paperwork Sakura and Naruto had left behind to legalize their stunt, and an hour after that, they would discover the letter Naruto had left on the Hokage monument, which would explain everything. Where had he gone wrong? The one sensei gazed down at the clean, fast-flowing water on Team 7's small bridge. His prodigy, Uchiha Sasuke, had been seduced by promises of power, and Uzumaki Naruto had also gone, perhaps to find and murder his colleague. Sakura, his lone student, had only spent perhaps 10 minutes with him in the previous 3 days. He had only seen one of Naruto's training sessions in the woods, and most of what he knew about the blonde came from his friends. They told him about his cheerful little deadlast being as strong as Jiraiya or Tsunade, that he had won 2 of the 3 sparring matches that Naruto and the white-haired pervert had engaged in, and that he could perform one-fingered handstands on moving water and frank and dangerous weights on his legs. He has seen more of Sakura, who vanished into the woods for days at a time and returned with powerful changes to many techniques. She had created a taijutsu technique specifically for medic needs that was nearly 7 times more effective than any previously developed technique, and she had revolutionized the way medical jutsus were made and used by devising a way to heal wounds more quickly and easily without weakening their flesh. She had also redesigned even the most powerful attacks, particularly genjutsu, to be more effective while using less chakra. According to Tsunade, Sakura and Naruto were both exceptional ninjas and seemed to pick things up quickly. What role did he play in their growth? He had wasted his opportunity to teach them simple chakra control exercises since he had been entirely focused on Sasuke. It was now too late for him to assist any of them. He turned away from the lake, sighing sadly, thinking that perhaps he ought to go to the top of the Hokage Memorial. He recalled that Naruto had usually gone there when he wanted to reflect, and he could practically hear the boy's voice, oddly serious. "Just stand at the very edge, sensei, and spread your arms and let the wind blow away all your angry and sad thoughts and then just think, it makes stuff clearer. Underscore 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 Sakura moved quickly through the forest and thought about her options. She was probably a minute's drive from sound now, and there were many traps scattered throughout the forest. She had avoided getting caught by any of them, of course, but there had been a few near misses when her thoughts had wandered. She could enter the village covertly, but what would be the point? The gate guards had been instructed to keep an eye out for her because they knew Naruto, but could she really take the chance? Sakura quietly approached the gate, calling up to the Jonin on guard as she got closer. "Well, might as well," she said, leaving the cover of the trees about 6 feet away. It was probably smarter than just showing up in Orochimaru's office. "Hey! I'm Haruno Sakura. My teammate, Naruto, should already be in there. Can you open the gate?" "We'll let you in, girl, Naruto-kun told us you'd be here soon," said one of the Jonin after they had exchanged a quick look between them. "So you know Naruto well?" she asked, grinning up at the person who had spoken. "Until about 3 hours ago, the kid was living with me. He needed a place to stay until the apartment nearest the Uchihas had opened up and someone had to pay for new clothes and food. I have never seen someone consume that much ramen in all my life," the Jonin, who is now identified as female, sighed as her fellow guards laughed. The Jonin leaped from the wall and unlocked the gate, letting the girl with the pink hair pass through. Sakura blinked. "The ramen part doesn't surprise me, but Naruto shopping? That must have been hell. He hates shopping. It wasn't so bad once he realized I wasn't going to make him get things he didn't like. He's got a pretty good wardrobe now, mostly in gray and blue." Sakura looked at the Jonin, who was grinning beneath disguise, "no bright colors whatsoever, and we trashed the atrocious orange jumper he brought with him. He doesn't need it to gain attention here." A change of topic was necessary. Sakura winced at the memory of Naruto's treatment in Konoha and sighed. It was obvious that she had changed. If Naruto was as accepted as she was starting to believe, she knew he would never leave Sound, not for anything. So where is Naruto now? Naruto-kun is at Uchiha Sasuke's apartment, waiting for the boy to return from a mission. You can join him once we have you registered with Orochimaru-sama. Underscore 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 silently. Naruto gazed at the door's inscription in front of him. Sasuke Uchiha Chunin Division Alpha. Sasuke always entered his home through a window back in Konoha, and Naruto assumed that was also the case here. The name of his teammate, friend, and rival, the person he had half expected he would only see on the other side of a battlefield, and it would be only minutes before Naruto saw him again. After picking the lock and disarming the traps, he would enter the flat as soon as he heard movement and would meet his companion once more. Underscore 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 Uchida. Sasuke exhaled with relief as his apartment building appeared. He turned off his Sharingan and landed lightly on the wall next to his window, his feet sticking to the wall as Kaka had taught him to do. He knew that now was not the time for unpleasant memories and unattainable dreams. He would never go back to Konoha, his teammates would likely despise him, and if he ever discovered them, he would be expected to kill them. Simply put, he was not a Konoha nin, and they were. It had been a long day, a long mission. He rubbed a hand wearily over his face as he opened the window and slid effortlessly into his simple, impersonal home. He dropped his bag to the floor and missed the click of the front door opening. Sasuke. He paused when he heard that voice. Sasuke whirled around, saw the lunge and the blonde hair, and realized he was caught. He clenched his muscles, ready for the strike, but it never came. The blonde's mouth was right next to his ear as Naruto's arms drew him into a cozy embrace. "I missed you, we missed you, bastard, we won't leave you," he said. Sakura joined the embrace as a second pair of arms encircled both guys, and pink hair touched his cheek. For a brief time, he wasn't in sound, but rather a Konoha cemetery, where his teammates were consoling him during a vulnerable moment. At the time, he had also failed to notice the tears streaming down his face. Underscore 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 Kakashi and the others read the letter he had discovered atop the Hokage monument in Tsunade's office. To all of you, if you're reading this, you're aware that Sakura-chan and I have left. Don't worry, we're safe. We're pursuing Sasuke Bastard because he is incapable of taking care of himself, lacks common sense, and genuinely needs us more than you guys do. We'll be in sound by the time you find this, so it doesn't hurt to be honest. Here's what we did: in order to dispel suspicions about Sakura, we staged a few fights before I left. We then agreed on a sequence of disappearances into the forest, so that you would get used to us going days without communication and have a head start when you started wondering where we were. We both signed and wrote documents that ended our careers as Konoha citizens and ninjas, making it illegal for you to follow us. After that, we had another fight, and Sakura decided to leg it as soon as people began questioning her. Iruka-sensei's unmarked assignment box contains the documents. I apologize for not being able to say goodbye, and I ask that he check the small crevice in the plaster for the headband he gave me. The other one is already on my bed, but it isn't the most essential one. Sakura says hello and apologizes for the trouble, and she will tell her parents everything because they won't mind anyhow. Sakura and I will do our best not to fight against Konoha, and I have a plan to end the conflict before anything serious happens, but I won't tell you because Oba-chan won't like it. Shikamaru, you lazy ass, if you don't get off your ass and ask you-know-who about you-know-what, I'll tell Ino about the peanut butter incident. Niji, I know you know about the fuzzball. Go ahead and tell everyone, Oba-chan can fill in all the gaps and whatnot. You would be far more cool than those stupid clansmen of yours, Hinata, if you would stop stuttering. I'm sorry, but I can't keep my word, Ba-chan. This is more significant than ever being the Hokage. Goodbye and I love you. Naruto and Sakura, P.S., listen to Iruka-sensei, he's far more intelligent than you are. Kakashi-sensei, quit whining and do something constructive. Nothing is more pitiful than you when you're pitying yourself. Sakura, DDD. Even as Naruto untangled himself from the group embrace, Sakura let out a quiet sigh and raised her head from Sasuke's shoulder. They had been twined together for a few minutes, and none of them was eager to leave, but Naruto and Sakura had a story to share. Additionally, Sasuke needed to hear the story. As the story of Naruto and Sakura gradually developed, Sasuke sat on the floor of his apartment with some of Odo's most skilled ninja and the recently reorganized Team 7, all of them listening in disbelieving silence. The united explanation was far more thorough than what Naruto had told them in Orochimaru's office, even though the Jonins and Kabuto had already heard the entire story and were still listening intently. Naruto sighed, leaned back against the wall, and smiled at Sasuke as the story came to an end after nearly 2 hours of conversation. "Well, there you have it, the whole story, whatcha think," he said. "You gave up your friends, your family, and your whole life as Konoha means to follow someone who knowingly betrayed you." Sasuke's voice was raspy. "You're both stupid and crazy." Sakura glanced at Naruto, who turned to face her. "Would you like to do the honors, or shall I?" Naruto politely asked the girl with the pink hair. Sakura leaned over and gave Naruto a lovely grin. With all of her strength, she struck Sasuke across the face while grinning at him. The youngster was taken entirely by surprise as his head snapped back, and Sakura stepped over him and pulled him to his feet by his ear. She bent down to speak to him. "Listen up, you arrogant sod, I may like you, I may think you're cute, but you won't be talking like that to me ever again. You think this was for you? Well, for Naruto it was. You're his precious person. My reasons are different. I came to make sure that Naruto would be safe from a traitor's foolish dreams. I missed you, and I still care about you, but some things aren't easy to forgive." She growled at him. "You left us alone. We were a team, Sasuke, and you left us alone. What did you say, Sakura?" "He's even more white than usual," she said, releasing the reeling youngster and moving to sit next to Naruto once more. "I was just reminding him how grateful he should be to have friends like us," she said with a charming smile. "Hey, it's raining." Naruto squinted, a little doubtful, but he accepted her explanation. He then stretched, sighed, and peered out the window. He got to his feet, disregarding the Jonins and his teammates entirely, and stuck his head out the window. He moaned in delight as the rain pelted his face, removing the perspiration and grime that had gathered throughout the day. A really joyful smile appeared on his lips. "I'm going outside," the Jonin to his right, Himoto, also known as Green-chan, yelled. "What, in this? Naruto, you'll soak your new clothes." He looked down at them and said, "Hey, if they can't stand up to a little rain, why'd you buy them for me? You chose this stuff 'cause it's durable and all, plus, I like the rain, who cares about getting wet?" She had bought him a charcoal gray sleeveless coat, a tight gray shirt, and black shorts this morning, all made of light but durable material. However, before any of them could truly respond, Naruto jumped to his feet and was out the window and on the street below. Underscore 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 underscore. In order to reach the very center of the cobbled road, Naruto tipped his head back to let the rain to wash over him. He was almost bouncing as he threw himself from the windowsill and let himself fall freely to the street below. He let out a sigh. One of the things Naruto really, truly enjoyed doing was standing in the rain like this. It was oddly reviving, filling in areas of his soul that he was unaware were empty, removing his anxieties and fears and leaving only a serene confidence. He never felt as though he had made the right decisions. It gave him the assurance that he would never be entirely alone, regardless of the faults he had committed. He sensed the Kyuubi stirring in his navel, behind the metal bars of a massive prison. "Negan Furball, what do you want?" Naruto smiled as a snarl reverberated in his mind. The fox was so easily agitated, "It's pouring outside." We've made a deal. Yes, I am aware of it. Do it. A rumble of laughter was followed by the demon's chakra swirling through Naruto's body. A gentle light enveloped him, and his chakra system opened to the alien energy. Naruto closed his eyes and grasped the clean, natural chakra of his surroundings, which included the rain, the stones beneath his feet, the fire in a nearby house's hearth. The only things it didn't feed into were people because their chakra systems were too rigid and closed off to the energy that was all around them. Without the fox, Naruto would have been the same. Every single raindrop contained a tiny burst of new, healing chakra, which it fed into everything it touched, including plants, trees, dirt, and stones. But he had made an agreement with the nine-tailed demon some time ago. Kyuubi gave the fox access to the one power source that would literally never run out in exchange for letting him feel and see through his body. Water, particularly rainfall, chakra in each drop. Of course, Naruto's eyes widened. He could feel every drop, and it only took a minute or so for the precipitation to fill his enormous chakra capacity. The remaining energy just slid off, meaning he no longer needed to be hit by the rain. And dancing amid raindrops was the best way to practice dodging. Underscore 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 Sasuke moaned while seated in the lone chair beside the table. Kabuto, Sakura, and the Jonins watched Naruto stand with his head tilted up for a little more than a minute from the window before he started to move, which startled them more than the action itself. With his eyes closed and his face hidden behind a mask of focus, Naruto was moving quickly and fluidly, his arms and legs moving, his entire body swinging as if he were avoiding hundreds of projectiles at once. The skilled ninja gradually saw a pattern. Naruto was a tiny, gray and gold figure that moved in the most intricate kata imaginable, making it impossible to watch and incredibly beautiful. Unable to take their eyes off the youngster dancing below, the Jonins nodded but did not look at Sakura. What's he doing? How is he doing that? Kabuto asked in a tone that was almost awe-inspiring. Sakura's eyes widened as she observed her teammate. I have no idea, but it's beautiful. How was he accomplishing that? Sasuke stood curiously behind them, looking over their shoulders and staring. The blonde was dancing in a way that was not quite normal, and he appeared ethereal and otherworldly. Then, while everyone watched, Naruto's hair started to grow longer, his fingernails turned into claws, his canine teeth grew a little longer, and his ears started to become points. In some way, the intimidating changes, which were undoubtedly brought on by what he held, only helped him blend in with this odd setting. Underscore 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 underscore. What are you doing, Negan? In between raindrops, I'm dancing. You're distracting me, so shut up now. The Kyuubi let out a rumbling laugh, as its chakra started to flow through Naruto's inner coils once more. Even though you are just another Negan idiot, you need to adapt a little because you will never be fast enough the way you are. It's time for you to become a proper vessel nevertheless. What? Furball, what are you doing? I sense. The weird sense that enabled him to perceive and accept the rain's chakra wasn't diminishing like it usually did, and Naruto didn't finish. Instead, he felt stronger, faster, and more alert. He also didn't feel any less in control of himself. It was thrilling. He would worry about the repercussions later. For now, Naruto was going to enjoy this reluctant gift from his tenant in dance. He roared with the thunder, struck with the lightning, and danced with the rain, oblivious to the terrified and amazed faces that peered out of every window as he rose effortlessly into the air. Alongside him, the Kyuubi yelled, hit, and danced.